Hi.
Hello.
I would like to ask what's your opinion about objective and subjective morality, if that's something that you would like to discuss in this live session?
Um, I don't know. A lot of my intuition tells me that it's kind of subjective. Now there could be such a thing as moral facts out there, which would mean it's subjective. But at the same time, what does it mean to be objective? Does it just mean that you have an objective in mind? Like, for example, secular humanism posits that the goal is to try to better human well-being, and so that is the objective, and it's objectively true that if you for example give everybody equal rights and you abide by these core tenets, then you will reach that objective. But then people say, like, well, why should we do that? And it's like, well, the old philosophical thing is you can't derive an ought from an is. And religious folks pretend that they have a workaround for that, but they don't. I mean, they say God is the standard, but that's a meaningless statement. And I think that there are contradictions and huge problems with that. I think it's always subjective what they say, unless the objective is to obey in order not to go to hell. But then this God could coerce you into doing anything, murder every single person on the planet, or else. Well, then
Yeah.
you kind of have no choice. And in what way is that good?
Yeah. So the reason why I bring up this topic is because the other day I was watching Christian Apologetic, and he was making a reaction video of some of Dawkins. I'm sure you are familiar with him. Are you? Dawkins? I
Yeah.
think Richard. Yeah. Um, and he was making a really great point. He was asked about subjective and objective morality. And I, as an atheist, I was kind of like had to give, like, had to acknowledge that the answer that the apologetic said was kind of right. Because so Dawkins went on to saying that, oh, okay, so it's so bad. The morality that we see in the Bible is so bad, which I agree completely. And he said, and the thing that we have now is better because society evolved and we have new, better ideas. But like then the TS, the apologetics said, okay, but if there is no objective morality, it's all subjective. How can we say one is better than the other? You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah.
kind of like
Well, yeah,
makes
but I
it
mean,
a lot.
yeah, but the problem is if a God exists, then
Yeah,
which God has the better ideas? We
yeah,
can't have any, I mean, there's no there's no saying this one is right and this one is wrong. The
yeah,
only way to do that is to appeal to your own bigotry,
yeah.
which
I
is which
definitely see
unfortunately.
that this.
But even if you're still deriving an ought from an is with
Yeah,
with the God idea, I feel. So I don't really see how it's any
yeah.
really kind of a workaround.
I completely understand how this is not a good argument for any specific God. But if we just suggest that there is a God, a something, that theists like to call like the standard of morality, then I feel like I kind of have to give it to them because, I also have this
Do,
feeling inside me that there are things that are objectively right, or I have this feeling inside me that we can say that the some moralities are better than the other. You know what I'm saying. But this is not a
Sure.
good
Well,
argument for
I
any
mean, it could be the
specific God.
case that some are better than others, but there's no such thing as this one is good and this one is bad, right?
Hmm.
Like somebody told me, that someone was arguing with me once, and they try to give you like absurd examples, like, so there are societies that practiced patricide, which is where like you kill your parents for some reason. And he's like, so is that good? Would it be good if a society did that? And my response was, well, what if we compare them to a society where everybody kills everybody? Then it's better than that society.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go, right?
Oh yeah,
But do you know about the Euthyphro dilemma?
no, please
So
educate
the
me.
Euthyphro dilemma is even granting what you said, is something good merely because God says it is, or does God only command good things? So if something is only good because God commands it, well then it's not objective, it's subjective, and then
Hmm.
there's coercion and tyranny there too. But if God always commands what is right, which is different than everything God commands is good, then God is just merely telling us about moral facts. If God knows that blank is right or blank is wrong, then all we have to do is appeal to reason. And,
Hmm.
apologists make the argument that, like when they try to talk about the fact that a creator must be behind the universe, they appeal to design and they say there must be a mind behind it. Well, if a rational mind is capable of understanding the difference between good and bad, we have rational minds. We are capable of doing it. All we have to do is appeal to reason, and we can cut out the middleman. To deny that is just to admit that your morality, your system of morality, is completely irrational. Now,
Yeah,
what other people will
also,
say is God is above our rationality, which makes no sense at all.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
is absolutely
it would
doesn't.
still would be irrational then. So
This is a really, really clever dilemma. What was it? What was the name again? Sorry.
Euthyphro, it comes from one of Plato's.
Oh,
It's a story by Plato.
okay, thank you so
Socrates and
much.
some
This
other
is
guy
really,
argue, or
this is
Socrates is
really
arguing
good.
with a guy named Euthyphro about it.
Also, the latter situation, which you said. So the first situation was when morality comes from God, therefore it's subjective to God. Then, and the other situation also suggests me that the morality is above God. So then, again, there is something that is above God. Then there are certain limitations for God that he cannot do, because then he wouldn't be moral. So I think it's also interesting to investigate that idea. But yeah, thank you. These are really good thoughts. Maybe it helps me come to peace with that kind of uh, what's the name? Um, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Sorry, I was typing something. Oh, well, I assume they were just saying goodbye, but there we go.
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
I have a question for you. I have an idea for a debate that would be taking place between somebody who believes in creationism and somebody that believes in evolution. And I would like to run the idea past you to see if you think it'd be worth approaching to make happen.
Possibly. I mean, I know a few people that
Okay.
I could debate whenever I wanted
I
to, but
understand. Here's my idea. What we do is we have a debate between somebody that believes in evolution and somebody that believes in creationism. And we have them debate, but see, here's the thing. They have to sign a contract before they debate each other. And the contract basically says three things. One, neither side is allowed to misquote the theory of evolution. Two, neither side is allowed to misquote Charles Darwin. And three, if either side does this, the person has to pay the other person $250,000.
$250,000.
Yes,
I mean, I have a debate on my YouTube channel. It's like an hour and a half long,
right,
and it's not so much of a debate as more of a conversation. I mean, we
right.
disagreed, but and I debated some creationists, and they did. I wouldn't say they misrepresented natural selection really at all. So I thought it was actually a pretty good conversation.
Okay, see, my idea, well, the reason I like this idea is that every time I see a debate like this, they always seem to go up there and misquote evolution and misquote Darwin. And I don't think it's right for somebody to have to spend the entire debate pulling them back, saying, "Hey, listen, this isn't, this isn't Darwin. You know, you've gotten it wrong. You understand?" So, in my opinion, with my idea, this would force the creationists to actually talk and have a discussion. Now, if they're wrong, the consequences is you got to pay. They have to pay you $250,000. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do is maybe have Ken Hovind on the other side, and
Oh, he'd go broke.
well, that's the point. You
Pretty
know,
sure he is broke, actually.
yeah. See, so what I'm thinking is either Ken Hovind, Ken Ham, or Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron, I forgot about him.
And what I'd like to do is just a simple condition that they have to adhere to those three conditions. I don't think the person who debates evolution would break those three conditions, but I think as a result of it, you know, I think somebody is going to go broke. Now, let me ask you this: what do you think about my idea?
um, I mean, it's fine. I don't think anybody would ever agree to it, though. Well, you know what? Kent is dumb enough to agree to it because he either knows that what he's saying is wrong and he doesn't care, which I think is what's happening. Because I think he got all his ideas about evolution in ignorance, but he's talked to so many people that know about evolution that he knows everything he says is completely stupid and wrong, yet he keeps saying these things.
Right.
Or he's just so unbelievably stupid that he's incapable of even understanding a simple graph, because he'll look at a graph that shows a tree, an evolutionary tree like this, and he'll claim that because there's an organism over here and an organism over here, he's claiming that the graph is telling you this organism turned into this organism, which everybody with at least a room temperature IQ knows that that's not the case.
Well, what I love is what Kirk Cameron does when he gets up there and he says, "Okay, if there was evolution, you'd be seeing the crocodile, the sheepdog,
Yeah,
and
it's up to him to tell us what evolution would do. Yeah.
what?"
It's up to Kirk Cameron to tell us what evolution would do.
And I would love to see this idea, you know, just force just that, you know, I'm so you think, let me ask you this. Let's say I could get a person who let's say I could get Ken Hovind to agree to this. Just that said he would sign the document, the agreement. Who do you think I should get on the other side to debate Ken Hovind?
Me?
You're saying you would do it?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I would debate Kent Hovind. He's so annoying, but I don't know. I probably
Well, this
would.
is worth. I mean, I think that a couple, or you know, that. Well, actually, here's I restate. Actually, this is the way. Actually, these are the real conditions that I made. One, they're not allowed to misquote evolution, but two, they have to make a statement of what evolution is. This is to prevent them from running around quoting Bible verses the
I
whole
mean,
time.
Kent Hovind has like 8 different definitions of evolution. I think he has that.
And two, they're not allowed to misquote Darwin, but they have to make a statement regarding what Darwin believes. Okay, believed. And then, you know, if Kent gets it wrong, boom, $250,000. Now, the thing that's really interesting about Ken is we all know that Ken Hovind does not have a good track record for court. So,
Yeah, he's 0 for 2.
right. So I think that this is a good thing. I actually reached out to Ken earlier today. I haven't told him my suggestion yet, but if I can make this happen, and I can just get the two people, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be the one drawing up the contract. The person who would be debating Ken would be the one drawing up the contract. But it's very simple. 3 conditions.
Right.
And then, you know, if one of the 2 people screws up, they have to pay $250,000 to the other one. Now, let me ask you this. Although this is a rhetorical question.
All right.
How
Well,
long do you think it would take for Kid Hoban to screw up and say something so dumb that it's outside what evolution is?
his opening statement.
You really okay? What about Ken Ham?
Probably his opening statement
Okay, Kurt Cameron.
before he even started talking.
Of the three, which one would you have most fun debating under those conditions? Which would
Oh,
you choose?
probably Kent, because he's probably the dumbest.
But you would have the most fun with Kent Coven.
Yeah, probably. Or maybe Cameron. I haven't really seen Cameron do much. He's probably a lot more sheepish, but anyways. Johnny, I gotta let you go because I got other people that are waiting.
I
But
understand, but I wanted to run my idea past you, and
sounds
I
good.
am going to try to get this thing to work because a lot of people they like my idea. I thought people would think the idea is stupid, but a lot of people like it because it puts consequences
Yep.
in. You know,
Okay.
this
Let me
talk
know.
to you soon.
Whoopsie darn doodles.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
What's good?
Raspberries?
All right, but how can you say objectively that the Big Bang happened? Like, what proof is there of the Big Bang happening?
Science is depersonalized, unbiased, secular, and objective. That's how.
Excuse me?
So what do you want to talk about next?
Um. Okay. How is God just a useless code?
Okay, tell me something about your God.
Like a characteristic, or like,
Yeah, sure. What literally anything you want.
uh, God is all loving.
Oh, my God said that that's actually false. And I'm right and you're wrong.
Okay, but what proof is there of your God?
It's divinely revealed. It's written on people's hearts. It's just that wicked people deny it.
That's not
So
proof.
I'm right and you're wrong. Or do you think that you're right and I'm wrong?
Well, I think I'm right. You're wrong because I have evidence from my God and you don't.
Yeah, see, evidence, faith is better than evidence. See, your evidence, you're just going to be appealing to human reason, whereas mine, I'm appealing to the ultimate authority, which is my God, which told me that your God is false and misleading you.
Okay, but how can you say that? Like,
How can I say it? I didn't say it. The divine, ultimate being said it, and
okay,
he's the
but
ultimate source of
when
authority and
there's
truth.
a
So,
divine ultimate being in this flawed universe, then how can the multi concepts of this multiverse really bound us to him?
so we're human beings couldn't possibly comprehend the creation of the supreme ultimate being. So there.
Okay, but if they can't comprehend it, then how can they even concept the idea in this flawed universe?
Because it's divinely revealed to us. We don't lean on our own understanding.
But if we don't use our own understanding, then how can we understand it in the first place?
Because it's written on our hearts.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
Don't pull it out. Oh, okay.
See how useless these arguments are?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're useless, but
I would. In fact,
I'd
I
say they're
did.
I'd say they're good for finding out stuff. So, would you say
Like
that?
what? What has ever been discovered? What has your belief ever discovered?
Like, was Christianity ever discovered?
Yep, go
I'm sure
ahead.
plenty of Christians have discovered things.
I didn't ask you what people have discovered. I asked you what your belief system has ever discovered.
I mean, you want something particular, I could say like the absence of God.
Wow, 2,000 years, and that's the best you could come up with. Okay, well, let me know when you figure anything out. Hello, Ryan.
Oh, didn't expect to get this.